Samanta Cakkavalesu Atra Gaccantu Devata Saddhamam Munirajatsa Sunantu Sagga Mokkadam Dhammacakkapavatana Kalo Ayam Bhadanta Dhammacakkapavatana Kalo Ayam Bhadanta Dhammacakkapavatana Kalo Ayam Bhadanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Evam me sutam ekam samayam bhagava Varanasiyam viharasi sipatane migadaye Tatra ko bhagava panchavaggiye bhikkhu amante Dear brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, very good morning to you all. Today our topic is Dhammacakkapavatana Sutta. This is very familiar in the society as the first sermon of the Buddha. Normally, we chant this discourse whenever we have a very special occasion. But we don't study it to find the philosophy what Buddha has introduced to the world with the first sermon. That is why I selected this discourse to explain you the most important philosophical teachings how Buddha has introduced in short using this discourse. We have to study it. It is very important. So, Dhammacakkapavatana Sutta is the gate to open the middle path. Dhammacakkapavatana is the first step to walk along the middle path. Dhammacakkapavatana Sutta we can study to find Nibbana at the beginning. How Buddha introduced Nibbana to us? We can find when we study. So, not only chanting this discourse, but studying this discourse is very important for us. When we collect all these values, we can say that Dhammacakkapavatana Sutta is very important for the beginners, especially for the beginners. So, dear friends, now we should go from the beginning to the end of this discourse to see how Buddha has introduced Dhamma to the world with the help of this first sermon. We know that there were only 5 ascetics sitting in front of him to listen to the teaching of the Buddha first day. They were also not happy with the Buddha at the beginning. 5 ascetics were not happy because they thought at the beginning that ascetic Siddhartha has come once again to take their help to practice austerity. But Siddhartha Gautama is no more. Now he is the Buddha. So the Buddha didn't want to get their help. Buddha went to them to preach the first sermon. 5 ascetics had a discussion with the Buddha. They addressed him as ascetic Siddhartha. Then Buddha said, "You don't address me like ascetic Siddhartha now. I have got my enlightenment. I found a way to see the Nibbana. I have found the way to get rid from all kind of sufferings in this samsaric journey." So many sentences Buddha used to introduce himself to 5 ascetics. Finally, what happened? Those ascetics understand. Yes, now he is different from the other type. Last time he was the ascetic Siddhartha, but now he should be different from that shape. Better to sit and listen to him. So that is the decision they took. So they were ready to listen to the Dhamma. They were ready to listen to the first sermon of the Buddha. So this is the most important event in the life story of the Buddha. Having realized the truth, Buddha went to 5 ascetics to introduce the middle path to them. So they were ready to listen to the Buddha. And then what Buddha said at the beginning announced that, "Dear friends, in this world there are only 2 extremes. There are only 2 extremes, self-indulgence and self-mortification." 5 ascetics started to think about that. Now they are getting ready to open their spiritual eyes or third eye. Slowly they were opening their wisdom. There are 2 extremes, self-indulgence and self-mortification. Still, nobody had announced such a philosophical teaching, only the Buddha. 5 ascetics accepted that. Then Buddha continued. First, Buddha introduced what is self-indulgence and what is self-mortification. Self-indulgence is with full of suffering. And self-indulgence is meaningless. They are all only for temporary experiences. Same way self-mortification. Buddha took one by one and explained to them the shape of those two extremes. 5 ascetics surprised to see it. They were so happy to agree with the Buddha because they had those days same experience. So they were very calm and quiet to continue listening to the Buddha. And then Buddha said, having studied these two extremes with my own experiences, I got the opportunity to go ahead. First of all, he said that I got the opportunity to open my eyes, Chakku Karani. Slowly I got the opportunity to get my knowledge, Jnana Karani, so on. Buddha explained one by one how Buddha came to that level to understand the truth. It means it is not so easy. Even after practicing 10 perfections in his birth circle, still he was not able to understand the truth. It is not so easy. He practiced even 6 years austerity. Finally, he came to that level to find the way how to attain Nibbana. This is the most important moment. And then his mentality was ready to accept the new path. Buddha said that I rejected those two extremes and found the new path. What is that new path? It is nothing but middle path. In the world, this is the first time we found a new path as a philosophical teaching. So middle path is nowadays very popular among wise men. So we should go in deep to understand what is middle path. Buddha mentioned there, middle path is with 8 qualities. It means Buddha accumulated 8 qualities to find the Four Noble Truths. He got this opportunity because of his own mental qualifications. He received during his Bodhisattva period, having cultivated 10 perfections, he got this power to receive 8 qualities of the middle path. Otherwise not possible. And then Buddha introduced what are these 8 qualities of middle path. One by one he introduced to those ascetics. We are very familiar with those terms. Right view, right concept, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right
effort,
determination, right mindfulness, right concentration. These are the qualities we should achieve when we practice the middle path. If we don't have these 8, this is the point. If we don't have them with us, we are not along the middle path. Buddhism is nothing but the middle path, but as Buddhists, if we don't have these 8 qualities, we are still not along the middle path. So Buddha announced that you as recluses or ascetics, you should collect all these 8 qualities, and then only you can get complete enlightenment. So Buddha went on explaining about the middle path further, one by one. Right view means using our power to see things properly, not with normal eyesight, but with our spiritual eyesight. We should look at the world and see the reality of this world. And then when we see the reality of this world, all the time our conception should be with same reality. We cannot cultivate some other conception while seeing everything properly. And when we have right view and right conception, we only use meaningful words as right speech. When we practice right speech, then our living is very meaningful, right livelihood. And then even our actions we do with meaning. When we do so, we have our own determination to achieve something. Here our determination is to find the truth. That is the aim of the Buddha. That is the path of the Buddha. Searching for the truth. Satya Gaveshi. So Buddhists should be with along this way. King Satya Gaveshi. So when they have cultivated all these qualities within them, then they have right mindfulness. Anything or anybody cannot change his mind so strong when we practice these qualities of the middle path. And when we have right mindfulness, automatically we come to the proper mental level. It is called mental concentration. That is the most important level. One by one, step by step, we have to practice. Then only we can come to that situation. So Buddha said, in this way, I have completed my practice. So the 5 ascetics were so happy to listen to these words, because this is the first time in the world saying about the middle path. And then Buddha started to say that when we practice the middle path, we can see that the world is with suffering. As Buddhists, we are talking about this dukkha. It is the first truth under the Four Noble Truths, dukkha. And again, we should apply this term to other religious teachings. Even in the other religious teachings, they also accept suffering is common to everybody. They also say that suffering is everywhere, but they have a different kind of definition. Suffering is with everybody, but all of them say that when we pray to the God, we can overcome suffering. That is the difference we have. But Buddha said, in another way, we have suffering. We all beings in this universe with full of suffering. How to overcome them? They have to realize, they have to recognize suffering. We have to look at different type of sufferings we have. So we have to look at them, study them. Having studied them, then we have to try to overcome them. So that is the difference of Buddhist teaching. And Buddha said, first truth is suffering. It is dukkha satya. That is the first truth. Everywhere, with everybody, suffering is. And then Buddha divided into different levels of suffering. Buddha said that birth is suffering. Coming to this world is suffering. It is very clear for us when we study about our birth. It is not a very beautiful journey. We came to this world with full of suffering. Easy to understand. Birth is suffering, and then aging is suffering. Means we are not all the time in the same level. We come to this world just like a baby, and then we are growing. We come to different levels of this life. And when we come to these levels, Buddha said, we come across different type of sufferings. So it is correct. We all agree with that. And Buddha said then, Vyadipi dukkha, that means even disease, ailments attack us. So when ailments attack us, we are not happy. It is also a suffering. And then Buddha said, Appiye sapayo dukkho. When we associate with unpleasant people, it is also suffering. And then, if we miss our friends, then it is a suffering. Piyehi vipayogo dukkho. And then, death is suffering. Yes, it is very familiar with us. Death is suffering. And at the end, Buddha explained that Yam kitta nalabati tampi dukkha. Whatever we want to receive, if we cannot receive them, it is also a suffering. They are very meaningful terms. Jati, jara, vyati, marana, abhya sampayoga, piyehi vipayoga, yam pitta nalabati. So these are very meaningful terms. And then finally Buddha said, why these kind of sufferings? Because we are in this world, that is the reason. Till we are in this world, we get all these kind of sufferings. So this is called the first truth. And then Buddha explained, having seen this truth, I started to find the reason for that. Why we have these kind of sufferings. This is an experiment. This is a kind of research work done by the Buddha while he was practicing the middle path. And then Buddha went on explaining about the second truth, saying that I was searching for the reason why we get suffering. Then finally, the Buddha realized what is the reason for suffering. It is desire or craving. We have craving with us all the time. When we have craving, we get different type of sufferings. And then Buddha explained further different levels of craving. Kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha. Because of craving, we want to be in this world. We don't want to go away from this world. When we experience that everybody will die, then I am afraid of my life because I want to be here. It is very common with everybody. If I want to be here, it is because of craving. It is called kama tanha, because of sensual pleasure. All the time we want to enjoy with our eyesight and with our hearing and then with our smelling and then with our taste and with our comfortable living. These are all together, we can say, enjoyment with sensual pleasure. We don't want to be away from them. Then it is called kama tanha. That kama tanha is very common to all beings in this universe. So all of them are enjoying thinking that it is permanent, but it is not permanent. One day or other we have to leave this world, but we don't have that experience, so we want to enjoy. It is called Kamatanha, sensual pleasure. And then Buddha explained again, not only this kind of craving, even we want to be in this world. We don't want to go away from this world. But it is very common. We all, one day or other, will go. But still we want. It is called Bhavatanha, existence of this world. We like, we want. We want to be somewhere. Otherwise, if we go one day or other, then we wish. We pray to different gods and we wish, may I be born in the heavenly level, because we want somewhere to be. It is called Bhavatanha. So we get suffering because of Kamatanha, sensual pleasure, otherwise because of craving to be somewhere in this universe, Bhavatanha. And again, we have another kind of craving. Alright, this world is not permanent. So, I like to wish for to be somewhere without these situations, what we have in this world. I don't want, but still I want to be somewhere. To be without all these disturbances. It is called Vibhavatanha. So these are the three levels of craving. So this is a research work done by the Buddha. When we discuss about Buddha's first sermon, we can use modern method of experiment, or modern system of research work, and apply to the teaching of the Buddha. Very easy to understand. Buddha was so clever to introduce us what is suffering and what is the cause for suffering. Craving is the cause. Craving is the reason. In another way, it is desire. If we go further deep, then we can say it is because of attachment. Attachment to this journey of sansaric worlds. Because of the attachment, we cultivate craving. Because of craving, we experience different type of sufferings. So then Buddha announced that second noble truth is craving. Dukkha samudaya, the reason for suffering is craving. So craving is the second noble truth. And then, according to Buddha's experiment, Buddha went to the very important level of his own mentality. He found that suffering is all over, and then reason is craving. Then after, logically, he accepted, if suffering is the reason, what we should do? We should eradicate suffering. We should eradicate craving from our mental situation. Because of this mental situation, we have craving. So, one day or other, we should try to eradicate this situation. Then we come to a certain very special level of our mind. It is called cessation of suffering, cessation of craving. When we come to that level, when we have that cessation of craving, we don't experience suffering. Then Buddha said, that is the everlasting happiness. When we don't have craving, we are happy. Till we have craving, we are with full of suffering. So this is the third noble truth. It is called Nibbana. So one day or other, if we can eradicate craving from our mental situation, then it is called Nibbana. We should try for it. Put the advice to those 5 aspects that if you want to be free from suffering, you have to realize that reason is craving, and then if you want to enjoy everlasting happiness, you should be free from craving. It is called Nibbana. And then to announce that this is the third noble truth. And then after, according to Buddha's experiments, he found, now I know, I realize that there is liberation one day or other when we overcome craving, and there must be a way to overcome this craving. There must be a path, there must be a system. What is the path or system to be practiced to overcome craving and achieve everlasting happiness? Then he said, it is nothing but the eightfold path, the middle path. Then announced, dear friends, this is the fourth noble truth. Aryatangiko Maggo. That means eightfold path is the fourth noble truth. And then announced, they are 4 noble truths. I realized them. I recognized them. I found them because of my practice under the middle path. When I got a special kind of mental situation, I realized them all very easily. And then what I have done, you should understand. I have perceived suffering. That is the first step of my mind. And then I have eradicated craving. And then I have recognized everlasting happiness called Nibbana. And then I have practiced the middle path. So there are 4 kind of mental situations Buddha has practiced to achieve Nibbana or to achieve enlightenment. Not only one kind of practice. Parinyayam parinyatam pahatabbam pahinancha Bhave tabbancha bhavitam, Satchikatam. These are the terms Buddha used to introduce his own practice during the time of his earning all these qualities to be the Buddha. It was a hard work. He was working hard. 6 years he practiced austerity. After all, he rejected them all, thinking that this is not the path, and he himself selected mental concentration under the meditation on breathing to realize them. With the help of Anapanasati Bhavana, that means with the help of meditation on breathing, he came to the proper mental level to realize these Four Noble Truths. And then Buddha announced further that till I realize or recognize all these Four Noble Truths, and there are three kind of qualities, Tiparivatta and Dwadasakaram, 12 levels of Four Noble Truth. I didn't want to announce that I have got enlightenment. After cultivating all these qualities during my practice in the middle path, then only I decided to announce that I got enlightenment. And when I got this enlightenment, I had very special type of mental qualities. Chakkun udapadi, jnanam udapadi, vidya udapadi, aloko udapadi. That means I got the power of eyesight. That means vision. Vision was very clear. And then jnanam udapadi, I got the proper knowledge to realize the truth. And then panya udapadi, I got the power of wisdom completely. Then finally aloka udapadi, I got the enlightenment. Because of that, now I can explain each and everything of these Four Noble Truths. Otherwise I cannot. That is why I introduced to you as the Buddha. Otherwise I don't want. I got this message by my own experience. This is the first time in this world announcing about the enlightenment. This is the first time teaching the Four Noble Truths. This is the first time we discuss about the middle path. So dear friends, so Buddha addressing the five aspects, you try to understand them. So this is the teaching of the Buddha as first sermon. And then these universal levels, there are many levels of this universe, and all the heavenly beings were paying attention towards the deer park in Varanasi or Benares. Because of the enlightenment, they got that message. They were in their own heavenly levels, but they feel that something very special has happened in this human world. They looked at the human world and they found the enlightened one has come to this world. So they were also listening to the teaching of the Buddha. When Buddha concluded his sermon, from heaven to heaven, this message went. Because not only human beings, even heavenly beings started to shout spiritually, "It is excellent, it is excellent, it is excellent." They shouted. What is the term we used to say it is excellent? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So they all shouted sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That sound has gone from heaven to heaven, step by step, up to the Brahmaloka. When we recite Dhammacakkapavatana Sutta, we can find it. Then people think that it is wrong. How to agree with that? There are many world systems in this universe. They create some doubts. In this common society we have such doubts. But scientifically, now we have come to a wonderful period. Many scientists are searching for different levels of this space. Recently, some scientists have seen there are so many world systems, not only one, many. So Buddha has mentioned in his first sermon about that. There are many world systems. Dasa Sahasri Lokadhatu means that. It means there are 1,000 and 1,000 world systems. In those world systems, there are different type of beings. They are nothing but heavenly beings. So, we can be proud of the first sermon when we study about even this incident. Dasa Sahasri Lokadhatu Sangkampi. All the world systems accepted the teaching of the Buddha. So now we have come to that period to accept that there are many world systems. So Buddha has explained us about those world systems. So, dear friends in the Dhamma, so now we have studied in short, in brief, what Buddha taught under the first sermon of the Buddha. So what we should do, we have to understand, it is not a very short sermon, it is a very vast as well as very deep philosophical teaching. And Buddha explained us the levels he achieved to be the Buddha in this world. And Buddha has explained that when he improved step by step his mental situation, he got different type of achievements. So all these things we have to understand when we go through the Dhammacakkapavatana Sutta. And then what you should do, you please recite Dhammacakkapavatana Sutta as well as study the Dhammacakkapavatana Sutta. When you recite the Dhammacakkapavatana Sutta, you can get a kind of special energy to your mental environment. Energy comes because of reciting. And then if you study, when you study, you can understand properly what Buddha taught us under the Dhammacakkapavatana Sutta. So, in one way, we can enjoy with religious background. The other way, we can enjoy with the philosophical understanding. So, with both systems, we should continue our practice. And dear friends, I am going to conclude now my speech. If you have questions, we can discuss. Please ask questions. Thank you very much for your listening.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Bhante, about the middle part, the Eightfold Path. On one side, it is shown as the wheel with the 8 spokes. That is the symbol. Can say it's shown as a circle going around. And the other side, it is also described and shown and can be understood as a path, as a linear path, which has a beginning, samadhi, and as an end, samadhi. So I'm sure both of these aspects are valid, are true. How can they be combined? How are they combined in the practice? On the one side is a circle which has no end, which all the 8 different qualities have to be developed together, maybe not in time, and otherwise it also has a certain sequence.
Yes.
That is a question I have.
It's
quite not so easy to understand.
Yes, of course. When we see the Dhammacakka means circle of the Dhamma. There are 8 spots. So then we think that it is rolling. It is rolling. That is the meaning of that. Simple. Chakra, wheel. And again, when we discuss about the middle path, we say it is a path we should go step by step. So what is the meaning behind these 2 symbols? Actually, they are later developments. Buddha did not say that you should understand middle path as a wheel. But our scholars during later period, soon after the demising of the Buddha, they wanted to introduce Dhamma with these 2 symbols to teach to uneducated or normal people. We can say normal people. Then people pay their attention very interesting way. So these are methods of teaching. In one way it is a wheel, in another way it is a path. But when we study properly the Dhamma, actually it is not a wheel as well as it is not a path. But to make comfortable, we have introduced this teaching as a wheel as well as a path. Otherwise, 8 parts of this middle path should come together. They come at once. When Samadhi is there, Samma Sankappa comes. When Samma Sankappa is there, Samma right speech comes. They come all together. But normal people cannot understand it. It takes time. So we say, please practice them step by step. That is one side. Other side, it is a wheel. When we say that it is a wheel, people can easily catch the teaching of the Buddha as it is rolling. Because life is also rolling. So to make easy and make comfortable, then our scholar monks, they have introduced the teaching of the Buddha with the wheel as well as with the path. Otherwise, all the teachings come together. That is why when there are listeners, for instance, 5 ascetics were there. Kondanya was the one who recognized or achieved that level of first stream of the enlightenment, Sotapatti. At once he got it. He didn't practice everything step by step. He got it. He caught the meaning. So realization of the truth comes at once. When we realize the truth, it doesn't come slowly. It comes very fast at once. But to introduce this path, we use different symbols. So that is the proper introduction to the Dhammacakka and middle path. We cannot reject these symbols because we have to use them to introduce the teaching of the Buddha easily. That is why. But when we practice, we should be comfortable with these symbols. Okay? Alright. Yes. Any other question, please? Very good. We should make clear some doubts when we have. Any other question? Yes.
Any more questions?
Yes.
Again, the Eightfold Path. On one side, we have the Eightfold Path, and the other side, we have the Threefold Training.
Yes.
Disika. Start with Samadhi, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. The
Qualities, yes.
Yes. What is the relation between those two aspects of teaching?
That is so. Again, yes. All right. So now see, Eightfold Path can be divided into 3 levels: Sila, Samadhi, Prajna. What is the real meaning? Without Sila, Samadhi, Prajna together, we cannot realize the truth. We cannot. They should come together. Again, without Sila, no concentration. That means moral behavior helps to cultivate mental concentration. When we practice moral concentration, wisdom comes automatically. They come together. We cannot divide them. They should be together with the person who is practicing or who is studying the Dhamma. When we study the Dhamma, paying proper attention, we cultivate Sila, Samadhi, Prajna together. That is the meaning of Sila Samadhi Prajna. So we cannot separate them. But levels are separate, but we cannot separate them because they come together. For instance, you are studying the Dhamma. This is the example. While you are studying the Dhamma, you cultivate Sila Samadhi Prajna. Without moral behavior, you cannot practice meditation or mental concentration. When you practice meditation, that means Samadhi, mental concentration, it is no doubt that you get wisdom. So these are working together. Understand? They are working together, like middle path. We practice middle path together. We'll earn Sila Samadhi Prajna together. And then we come to the enlightenment. Okay? Yes, it takes time, but it will happen. Yes. Okay. Any other question, please? Yes.
Master, thank you very much for the
Whether sister, you would like to come forward?
Yeah.
Come.
It's okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for Dhamma talk. As we understand, they are like a theory, because our Manga talk about four noble truths: suffering, cause of suffering, and we may have an end to suffering and the way to an end. And the way to end suffering is our eightfold path, and we can't achieve that eightfold path in one day or in one talk. So our monk suggests that step by step we must practice. We can't get enlightenment or achievement in only one session. We must perhaps I think we ask our monk to give more talk, more training on another session, because iPhone path is not easy. Yeah. So we must thank you very much. Our mantra talk is very beneficial to us, and we ask for another session to talk about eightfold path. That's the main.
Okay.
Yeah, the main path. Thank you so much.
Yes. He's a very senior citizen practicing the Dhamma and participating for Dhamma talks at the BMB center. So he has a lot of experience, and we know that it is not so easy. With one sermon, even monk cannot explain everything, and having participated for one sermon, we cannot understand everything. It is all right, but should not postpone. We should try our level best to achieve what we want today itself. If we postpone, we don't know when we will achieve it. We should not be lazy. We should be ready at any time to realize the truth. It should be with us. Okay? Thank you very much for your explanation. Thank you.
Any more questions, brothers and sisters?
Bhante, last Friday we suggested to have a 10 minutes meditation.
Yes.
Can we do today? Okay?
We can do 10
You
minutes.
can.
Okay. So, dear friends, we discussed last Friday that we must practice meditation whenever we get an opportunity, because mentally we are not all right. we have so many things in our mind. We call it is shaken mind. We should make calm it. We should keep in balance our mind. For that, what we should do, day by day we should have a kind of training at least for 10 minutes. So now it is the time. So shall we be ready to do a short meditation? And when we do meditation, it is not necessary to sit with crossed legs. It is not necessary. Please, while sitting, you can do meditation, but you should touch the floor with your two legs. Touch him properly. And then, physical arrangement is very important. Without physical arrangement, we cannot do meditation. That is called the posture. It should be very clear. Clear, comfortable posture. Sitting with the upright posture, without leaning to the chair. Upright posture. And then keeping hands together, right hand on the top of the left hand. And now you are very comfortable. Check your breathing, whether it is all right or not. With breathing you are very comfortable. Now you should be quiet. Bend your head little bit down. Please. Now shall we repeat 2 formulas continuously without any gap. No stopping. You have to repeat them not orally but mentally. I help you repeating them orally but in a silent mood. You first listen to me and then repeat them mentally. I am here. My mind is with me. 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 My mind is with me. I am here. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends, this is the most suitable kind of meditation for our day-to-day practice. So this method is under the basic level. If we don't have this basic level training, we cannot go ahead. At once we should not go to practice meditation on breathing. Before that, we should arrange the environment of our mind. So this is the arrangement of our mind. Even this arrangement we should do again and again. So today we practice about 10 minutes meditation on, it is called to be in the now. When we do so, I am here, my mind is with me. We don't go to the past, we don't go to the future, we are in the now. I am here, my mind is with me. So the meaning of this method is to be in the now. We do this meditation. It helps us to be free from worries. Because when we go to the past, worries come. It is very common. Worries only come to our mind. Oh, I was not able to do that. I was not successful with that. I didn't meet so and so. All the worries come and disturb us. That is the common nature. If we go to the future, then so many dreams come. I want to be such a person very soon. I want to get this one next year. So our mind is a planning ministry. So a lot of plans. So both sides are troublesome. We should be at present moment. That is the most important advice given by the Buddha. In many occasions, Buddha advised his devotees to be in the now, be at the present. And then we are free from all disturbances. So this is a kind of meditation for our daily practice. So before we start our work in our daily life, early morning, please do meditation about 15 minutes and go to school. You will be very successful. And go to work, you can work well. And again, at night, before you go to bed to sleep, again, do the same meditation. I am here, my mind is with me. And go to the bed. You can sleep well. These are the two profits we can gain. We can work well and we can sleep well. If we can work well, we are happy. If we can sleep well, again we are very happy. So this is the basic kind of teaching under meditation. If we improve this one, so one day or other you can go to other steps successfully. So please remember, and every day when we meet here, shall we do 10 minutes meditation, and later on we can improve it. Thank you very much.
We thank Bhante for the wonderful, well explained meditation know-how sessions. Any question for Bhante on meditation?
Yes.
When we try meditation, should we be in a very clear, awakened state of mind or a sleepy? Some people they are sleepy, but they try to do meditation, then they fall asleep.
It is very common at the beginning. At the beginning, we come to that little sleepy and laziness, and we reject the method very soon. Oh no, I cannot. Likewise. But when we come to a certain level of our mental development, we will be all right. Still we have to practice. That's the thing.
Any more questions? Okay, if there's no more questions, before we share merits with the Devas and our departed loved one, I have a few announcements to make.
Shall we transfer merits to our departed relatives first? Recite with me, please. Idam me jnatinam hotu sukhita untu jnatayo. Idam me jnatinam hotu sukhita untu jnatayo. Idam me jnatinam hotu sukhita untu jnatayo. Shall we share merit? Deities, wherever they are, may they enjoy their heavenly life and protect us. Finally, may they attain Nibbana. Akasatta ca bhummata devanaga manihika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu loka sasanam. Akasatta ca bhummata devanaga manihika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu desanam. Akasatta ca bhummata devanaga manihika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu tvam sada. Shall we have an aspiration with the power of all these merits? May we be able to associate only with spiritual friends till we attain Nibbana. Imena punya kammena mame bala samagamo satam samagamo tu yava nibbana patiya. Imena punya kammena mame bala samagamo satam samagamo tu yava nibbana patiya. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satam samagamo tu yava nibbana patiya. Abhivadana silissa niccang vaddhapachayino chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukham valang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevaca ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.